everybody? This is your girl, Miss P. I hope you're doing fabulous. Why do I always do this when I'm doing my intro? I don't know. But anyway, you're tuned in to another review for Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I know, I didn't do last week. And last week might have been one of the funniest ones that I could have done a bunch of impersonations. But I'm sorry, it was the Christmas holiday. I was like drunk in love like Beyonce off of that hood eggnog, honey. And I was just turned. I was turned all the way up for Christmas, okay? So I forgot. All I got to say from last week, Portia, dumb as hell. I wouldn't have said nothing about the Underground Railroad if I didn't know. You know, in school they always said there's no such thing as a stupid question. There are stupid answers. As far as Monique with the Y, not an O or an I, Nene's friend, girl, you opened up that can of worms when you wanted to talk about Chuck and how he done put his chunk of meat in everybody at the table, girl. You opened that can of worms. You wanted to talk about it. Girl, you wanted to talk about it, okay? You couldn't even get hood at the table. Girl, bye. Girl, Monique, you've been red, boo-boo, from the top to the bottom. Candy girl, yes, for you telling Monique, girl, he wasn't cheating with me. He paid my bills when I maxed out my credit cards, and Papa Joyce liked him, honey. And I'm about to slide that knob like corn on the cob. He is probably the reason why Candy Coated Nights is doing so well. I was like, yes, girl, give it to her, tell her. Because you don't open a can of worms and nothing comes out. No, worms are going to slither out of there, honey. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into this episode from last night. They still in Savannah. I was about to say everybody's cooking. Those were lies. Everybody was drinking, and Candy and Phaedra were cooking. And honey, I must say, everything looked rather tasty that they were making. I see where the buns came from. They're sitting at the table and they're talking about little Arthur. And yes, Cynthia, she has a, I believe, 13-year-old daughter. Candy has a daughter. Everybody else has sons. Nothing has come out the oven yet. They're talking about Cynthia's little girl, Noelle, and how she has a boyfriend at like 13. And Cynthia's saying, yeah, I mean, I pick up little Arthur. I take them to the movies, honey, and I make sure I pick them up. And then I drop them off. And here was Nene. She was like, I don't agree with that child. 13 is too young. My son, he's getting ready to go to high school, and I am not gonna help Britt date honey. Nene, I really enjoy Nene for the kikis, for the laughter, for the shade. But when it comes down to talking about real issues, I can't get it in with Nene. Why? Because she's very hypocritical. Lord, then all of a sudden Cynthia started crying. Like, I mean, she wasn't like, stop it. She was, I was like, whoa, Cynthia, okay. Cynthia started crying because that's a very touchy subject, especially if you're raising a child. I never talk about nobody's kids with them. Why? Because I don't have no kids. So what am I going to tell you about raising your children? I can't tell you nothing unless it's directed to me and you really want to know my opinion. But other than that, I'm going to keep mute like Kenya, because Kenya and I, we only have Max and Velvet. That's all we got. Nene, all I have to say with her is she can't talk. With Debo, the son that already got a baby and stealing raises from Walmart, baby, you have no place, honey, because your children, Brent, okay, Brent is in the clear. Brent ain't never done nothing to nobody, but the other ones start over, boo-boo. It's been too much, been too long. Little Noelle, she ain't doing too bad. And then they were talking about how girls were fast at the table, and I do agree with that somewhat. Nowadays, this generation is popped off. It's a lot, social media, but back in the day, they were probably fast too. Nene, you were a stripper girl, but you know, we're not gonna talk about that. On Cynthia's case as well, Cynthia, I do agree with Nene how she's very yeah, but she's real sensitive too. So baby girl, you need to take yourself out of the equation. Just say, oh, that's not Noelle, and talk about it. Kenya and Portia, they ran off to help with Cynthia. Everybody else was sitting at the table like, oh shit. Have y'all noticed Candy, unless Candy is right there with you, she ain't moving a muscle. She just sit there like, Nene was like, oh my God, she would die for Noah. That's her baby. Nene, we can't help that you probably wouldn't die for your kids, or you probably don't give a shit. And I'm not saying you don't give a crap about your baby. It's just maybe your degree of crap giving is at a 2. Whereas Cynthia's is at a 12. So everybody's parenting styles are different. She loves her baby. Leave her alone. So the reason why Portia and Kenya ran off is Portia, she wants children. And it was like, it hurt her heart. Kenya, she never had a mother to love her to the degree that Cynthia loves Noelle. So she was like, man, this is, oh my God, I want this. Kenya and Portia, they start talking, and that's when we learn about everything a little bit deeper with Kenya. And Kenya, that baby is hurt. I've met a lot of people like that. She doesn't really know how to love, so everything comes off as really abrasive. Time heals everything, but you have to learn how to love people, and you really have to be vulnerable but not dumb. Nene and Cynthia, they're totally different. As friends, you can have totally different standpoints on things and move it along, and that's what they do. Candy was like, I think now I want to do a musical. I so respect Candy's hustle. I mean, she's gonna make vibrators, clitty rings, biscuits, and she's gonna do musicals. I respect your hustle, Candy. Do it. Every year something different. Do that, boo. Now Portia is Rap City in the basement. She's literally in the basement crying, and they can hear her from down the stairs. I think they put her mic up there so everybody could hear her. So Nene goes down there and she's like, girl, what the hell wrong with you? And she's like, I miss Cordell, and then when I was really a mama to his kids. And Nene was like, girl, cut it out. And I so agree with her. I understand she's going through a divorce. I've never been married, and I ain't never been through no divorce. So I cannot talk from that standpoint of screw that nigga, don't be with him. I can't tell you that, but at the same time, either you want him or you don't. In my last relationship, when everything was said and done, and you go through that little grace period of, oh, do I want to go back with him? I was like, peace, time to go. That's it. You either have a nope, or you're either teeter-tottering, or you're either like, yes, I want to get back with them. But that teeter-totter should not go on for so long. As far as a baby Portia, girl, you can have one of those if you would like, girl. It does not take long, and I've seen Portia's new man friend, and hopefully they're still together because he is very, very cute. I like him better than Kunta. So it's time for them to go to a drag show, honey. You know what? I've never been to a drag show, and I really want to go. I hope they paid Cynthia for all this prep work. She doing everybody's hair, makeup, nails, and feet. Girl, you shouldn't have opened a Bailey agency. Girl, you should have opened a salon, girl. Okay? Shanae Show Enough Salon. That's what you should have did. Oh my God. Okay, I love my dog. I do. I'm not even gonna say I wouldn't fly Max in nowhere if he was sick. I would. So I understand with Kenya, okay? She flew Velvet in, honey. She was like, fly him in. Her don't feel good. Flew Velvet in. Baby didn't feel good. And all she did was run around on that Savannah carpet. Yes, Velvet. You better do that. Nene wants Kenya and Phaedra to kind of mend everything. Kenya goes into Phaedra's room, and Phaedra, you know, Phaedra's tits are just ready to explode with milkation. And it's lactation and all that going on. So she needs to pump on a regular. And plus, she don't care what Kenya got to say. Kenya was like, I hope that we can, you know, come to an understanding. And Phaedra was like, girl, I done threw that into the fireplace. It's up in smoke, girl. Let me put my titty, girl. You got anything else to say? You good? All right, bye-bye. So I want Kenya to pick her face up off the floor, and it's over with. It's done. Phaedra is not studying you, girl. Okay? On to the next one. But I just know you shouldn't be texting Apollo no more. That's all. So it's time for the drag show, and yes, honey, ladyship blues, honey. All I have to say is, baby girl, she needed a sandwich. Like, seriously, she looked sick. She looked sick. Y'all remember our Mrs. Doubtfire? She really looked like a chick though. They should have took her a plate from the house and brought it to her because she looked so sick. She needed a sandwich. She was skinty, honey. Oh my God. Nene and them still trying to school Monique on shade and properly reading somebody. And the girl was like, okay, honey, so if I go off with your bag, she was like, bitch, you better give me my bag back, bitch, before I beat your ass. I was like, Monique, sit down, girl. There is no hope. And you don't have to be talking like this and beating your weave and stuff to be black, but girl, sit down, girl. There ain't no hope. Just sit down. Sit down, girl. Oh, did y'all hear Kenya talking about Nene in the confessionals? I know on the reunion, they gonna talk about that. Talk about she looked... Yes, she wanted to go to the drag show because she looked just like him. I was like, oh, Kenya, girl. Oh, yes, you did. You did. Okay, so they're back at the house, and I kind of think this might have been out of sequence. But anyway, they're back at the house eating after the drag show, and Portia texts Cordell. Portia is 30 going on 15. I sure do agree with that because she said, and I told him I don't know what to tell him. What should I tell him? And everybody like, girl, you want to talk about y'all getting back together, going your separate ways, doing the shaboing boing, whatever. I understand. I'm all about being vulnerable but not stupid. You know better, okay? It's all, you can love somebody, you can be drunk in love, Beyonce. I'm sick of that. I'm just saying, everybody either woke up, I woke up like this, they flawless, or they drunk in love on Instagram and Twitter. Y'all need to quit that. But anyway, you can be like that, but at the same time, don't be stupid. And that's what she was when she was with, well, okay, she dumb anyway, but let's keep going. So Kandi, she took a phone and she was like, I said us. And I agree with Kandi, but at the same time, girl, you don't be texting on other people's phones. You don't do that. People will slash your face for that type of stuff, okay? Don't do that. So Kandi, she talks to the group about doing her musical, and Nene is like, girl, I'm busy, girl, in her confessional. Girl, you ain't doing nothing. I hate when people be fake busy. Like, oh, I got so much stuff to do, but you ain't doing nothing. All of a sudden, a flying tarantula, monkey, kangaroo, roach breed is flying. And I was like, oh, that thing, it was gross. Where was I at? I was in Florida. And they have these flying little roach. Oh, God, it's disturbing to my spirit. I felt just like Phaedra. I was like, oh, what the hell is this? So, come to find out, there is Kenya and Portia to the rescue with a roll of paper towel. I thought that was not genius at all. Do you know how much paper towels are? So after that, after the whole roach monkey breed scenario that had to take up a whole 10 minutes of life because they didn't have any other footage, they were all talking about, oh, that was so great that we had all started communicating and getting better. And Nene was like, hold up, bitch. Portia, girl, you need to start communicating better. You need to text me as soon as I text you. There's a 30-second break for you to text me back, bitch. If I call you, you need to call me right back. I'm giving you a 2-minute interval. I'm like, hold up. I agree with people when you're friends with them, when you give all the time and they just take, and they act like, oh, okay, that's all I need to do. I'm a taker in this friendship. I do agree with that. I've had that happen to me before, but I cut. That's it. There, I give you another grace period. If you're still acting like that, I tell you about yourself and I'm on to the next one. Because baby, you just can't take life from me, okay? People be fake busy. They can't get back to their phone and all that stuff. They text you 8 days later. But at the same time, I agree with Kandi. You're really needy at the same time. Sometimes people are busy. People have lives. People have things to do. If you're on your phone all the time, I'll be giving you a side eye. Like, okay, what else are you doing? You're on your phone. You see the text or the call. So I understand with Nene and I also understand with Kandi. I mean, there needs to be something in the middle. But anyhow, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I am updating my website, misspea.tv. I want you guys to head over to the blog section because I want to know what you guys would like to see in the blog section of my website. All right? And also I want to know what you thought about this week's episode. Happy New Year to everybody, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace, love, and all that good stuff. God bless. Bye.